Cover Killer Nation, September may become Progressive Metal Month, the way things have been really going. We're going to talk about another progressive metal release, and this is a really, really important one, especially if you have been a fan of the Cover Killer Nation for a long time. 2009, a progressive metal CD actually won the Album of the Year award, and that was Snowfall on Judgment Day by the band Redemption. Well, it's time for us to go 2 years into the future, to the present, actually. I know, I'm confused too. Marty from fucking Back to the Future is like, the fuck? And the Doc is just dead. But, at any rate, it's now time to review this Mortal Coil, the follow-up to Snowfall on Judgment Day, the album that got the top spot in 2009, and it's time to see what Redemption is able to give to us here in 2011 to follow up such a masterpiece. Well, first off, let's start off with basic statistics, the things that, well, just turn everything and give us what we want, and give us what we need to know. 10 tracks, 71 minutes long. 71 minutes, a long album. It's got a lot to offer. There's a lot of lengthy tracks on here. We have 2 tracks that eclipse the 9-minute long mark. We have multiples that go over 6 and 7 minutes. This is basic stuff for progressive fans, though, however, so this is nothing new to a lot of you guys out there. And plus, if you've listened to the Dream Theater release from just a couple of weeks ago, 10 minutes is going to seem like nothing. It ain't going to seem like shit. Not to mention with Pink Floyd reissuing all of its stuff this Tuesday as well, 10 minutes is going to seem like, I don't know, 2 minutes. At any rate, this is an album that, unlike Snowfall on Judgment Day, has taken a little bit more of a heavy turn. And that's something that is prevalent whenever you're listening to this piece. Now, all of the things, all of the unique subtleties that Redemption is able to offer to a listener, they are still present there. They are still able to blend the aggressive side of their music along with the slower, more beautiful, more melodic side along with it. The virtuosic tendencies will still be there. There is absolutely no holding back. No foot has been remained off of the throttle here. In fact, if anything, it's pressing it just a little bit more, trying to get it to lean a little bit more towards the aggressive side. There's still those beautiful moments, but if you remember from Snowfall on Judgment Day, there were a little bit more in the way of a more beautiful kind of ballady feel to it. There's a lot of personal feel to this album, and whenever you think about this Mortal Coil, there's a lot of personal meaning to this particular album title, not to mention the content on the album, considering what's going on within the band itself, with Nick getting cancer and everything along those lines. It's a very, very strange and a very, very surreal look into mortality and into the heavens and into all matters of belief. It's one of those albums where you have to sit and listen to the music and then sit again and listen to the lyrics and then sit a third time and digest both of them at the same time. And that's only if you're trying to review it. If you're trying to listen to it as a fan, then you do it however the hell you want. This is an album also that has a lot of little subtle characteristics to it that you're really going to enjoy if you're a progressive music fan. The keyboard work on this album is top-notch, and whenever you combine it with the virtuosic guitar playing, the combination is something that's only mythical with the feel like in a genre such as progressive music. We would only think that perhaps Dream Theater would be the only band that would be able to really blend dual virtuosic tendencies and do it in such a way in which it just sounds so rich. There's such a dynamic to it, but yet at the same time it feels so fucking natural and so organic, almost as though there's no effort to it. It's very effortless the way in which they're able to put these pieces together and formulate these fantastic, lush symphonies with each passing track. However, no. Redemption's that one band out there, that little speck on the radar that not too many people know about. People will get that Dream Theater out and they'll be propelled to number 4 on the charts. Redemption will be nowhere close, and that's a problem. That's something that really needs to be solved. That's a problem that needs to be rectified, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great band that definitely deserves a lot of attention. And you know what? Maybe some people are turned off because sometimes, it doesn't have quite the same mix grab bag of material that Dream Theater may offer. Maybe Dream Theater with LeBray's vocals and all the fantastic moments, the way in which they're able to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's a little bit more of an accessibility to it to some of the people that aren't there for the aggression at all times. Maybe that's something that offers Dream Theater a little bit more of a pass in this in order to get that recognition, to get that tendency. Maybe Redemption is just too new. Maybe they're a band that since they've only been around for about a decade, it's just not enough yet It's not their time. Maybe to a lot of people they haven't hit that magnum opus yet. I disagree. I think they have done a really good job in formulating individualistic, not to mention very, very solid and very consistent efforts with each passing album, this album included. This affair could go down as almost the night to Snowfall and Judgment Day's day. And the funny part about it, it's very strange to call Snowfall and Judgment Day the day album of this duality, so to speak, mainly because Judgment Day is seen as a very dark day. This Mortal Coil is seen as a very human thing. You know, most thing, if anything, maybe those roles would be reversed. Either that or you would never even want to use an opinion or a metaphor like that to begin with. However, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to go there. Because I really see a more aggressive side on this Mortal Coil than I see as a majority on Snowfall and Judgment Day. Now, I'm not going to say, you know, in certain spots. In certain spots, Snowfall is an aggressive beast. It's one hell of a motherfucker. But whenever you listen to it on an overall sentiment, whenever you go from track 1 to track finale, you're going to sense a little bit more of an aggressive side on this album, this Mortal Coil, than on Snowfall and Judgment Day. I like the fact that this is a band that does not have to tinker with their sound an obscene amount in order to get something that feels so fresh. This is not a band that necessarily has to completely rewrite their own formula in order to develop something that can sound very different, but at the same time maintain that same appeal to a fan of the band. This is something that Redemption fans will digest with smiles on their faces. This will be like a hearty Thanksgiving meal that came about 2 months early. This is going to be a very, very tough album to dethrone out of the top 10. So this is something to look forward to later on. Are they necessarily going to hit #1 with 2 consecutive albums? I don't know. This is a stacked year. This is a great year for metal music. I don't know if you guys have noticed. September alone could have multiple entries in the top 10. Not just the top 20 or the top 25, the top 10! We'll see how the chips fall whenever December comes. But for right now, I am imploring you guys, whether you are a fan of progressive music or not, whether you're viewing this video because you love me or because you love Redemption, to definitely pick up this album, give it a listen, and tell me what you think about it. Because now you know what I think. It's damn good, and it's definitely worth your money. I'll talk to you later.